I got a phone call 2 weeks ago from a friend who manages a dealership in Ohio. Not a best friend, just a guy I have known for about 8 years. We talk cars, we talk business, and every once in a while he tells me something he probably should not. This time he said something that stopped me cold. He said he had vehicles on his lot that were costing him $400 a month just to have there. Every month they did not sell, he lost money, and corporate kept shipping him more. I asked him which ones. He rattled off a few, and 3 of them jumped out at me immediately. Not because they were bad vehicles, the exact opposite. These were well-built, reliable SUVs from manufacturers with strong reputations, and they were sitting on his lot like furniture nobody wanted. The reason they were not moving had nothing to do with quality. It had to do with perception, overproduction, and a market that does not reward the smartest vehicles. It rewards the most popular ones. Popularity and quality are not always the same thing. So today I am going to walk you through exactly what is happening behind the scenes at dealerships right now, which SUVs are caught in this trap, and how you can use that knowledge to walk into a dealer and pay thousands less than you should. Here is the thing most people do not understand about car dealerships. They operate on something called floor plan financing. Every single vehicle on that lot is essentially a loan. The dealer borrowed money from a lender to buy that car from the manufacturer, and they pay interest on it every single month until it sells. A healthy dealership turns inventory in 60 days. When a vehicle sits for 140 days, 200 days, 400 days, that dealer is not just failing to make a profit. They are actively losing money. And a dealer who is losing money is a dealer who will negotiate. Let me start with one that genuinely shocked me when I dug into the data. The Buick Envision. I know, I had the same reaction. Buick, the brand your grandfather drove to church on Sundays. But stay with me because the numbers here are wild. In February 2026, the average Buick dealership in America had 140 days of supply sitting on their lot. To put that in perspective, Toyota dealers are running at about 30 days. Buick dealers have nearly 5 months of unsold inventory, and the Envision is a massive part of that problem. Sales of the Envision dropped 60.9% in the fourth quarter of 2025 compared to the same period the year before. That is not a gradual decline. That is an avalanche. Dealers who ordered these things, expecting steady demand, are now staring at rows of them with no buyers in sight. Here is what kills me about this situation. The Envision does not deserve to be sitting there. RepairPal gives it a reliability rating of 5 out of 5. Perfect score. It ranks number 1 out of 32 vehicles in its entire segment. The thing is more reliable than the Lexus NX, more reliable than the Acura RDX, more reliable than the BMW X3, and nobody is buying it because the badge says Buick instead of something that sounds more exciting at a dinner party. Let me tell you what is actually under the hood. A 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder making 228 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. This is the same engine family that GM puts in the Cadillac XT4. It is paired with a 9-speed automatic transmission, not a CVT, not a dual clutch, a proper 9-speed torque converter automatic. It runs on regular gasoline, not premium. That alone saves you $300 to $500 a year compared to European competitors that demand 93 octane. And every single Envision, every trim, comes standard with all-wheel drive. You do not pay extra for it. In a market where Toyota charges you $1,600 more for all-wheel drive on the RAV4, the Envision just includes it. The interior is where people really start questioning their assumptions. There is a 30-inch ultra-wide curved display that looks like it belongs in a $60,000 vehicle. Ventilated front seats are available. The cabin uses acoustic laminated glass, triple-sealed doors, and active noise cancellation to create what Buick calls quiet tuning. Drive one on the highway for 5 minutes, and you will understand why owners rate it 4.4 out of 5 stars. It is genuinely quiet. So what does all of this mean for your wallet? The Envision. Preferred starts at $42,895. Right now, buyers are negotiating $2,100 to $2,265 off sticker before incentives even enter the picture. Then, Buick is layering on 0.9% APR financing for 36 months and offering a no payment for 120 days promotion. When a manufacturer is telling you to take the car home and not pay for 4 months, you know they are desperate to clear inventory. Find the oldest Envision on the lot, the one that has been sitting there for 6 months, and push hard. You have leverage they do not want you to know about. That dealer has been paying floor plan interest on that vehicle for months. Every dollar they discount is still cheaper than another month of carrying costs. When you are shopping for one, here is what I would check. Ask the dealer to sort inventory by days, in stock. The longer a unit has sat, the more motivated they are to deal. Check the build date on the door jamb and compare it to today. A leftover 2025 model year. Envision sitting there as we head into mid-2026 is a vehicle the dealer will practically beg you to take. Test the 9-speed transmission on a cold start. Some owners have reported a slight shift hesitation when the transmission has not warmed up. Drive it for 15 minutes before you judge it. If it smooths out, that is normal. If it does not, walk to the next one on the lot, because there are plenty. And if it has a panoramic sunroof, check the headliner around the edges for any water staining. Not a common issue, but a 30-second check that could save you a conversation later. Now, the Envision situation is remarkable, but it is not the most aggressive deal on the market right now. That title belongs to something I did not expect, and it has to do with a company that made some very expensive mistakes at the corporate level. Before I get into that, I want to talk about a deal that is quieter, but might actually save you the most money over time. The Hyundai Tucson is not sitting unsold for 200 days. It is not a crisis vehicle, but Hyundai is doing something right now that is borderline irrational, and if you are in the market for a compact SUV, you need to hear this. They are offering 0% annual percentage rate financing for up to 60 months on the 2026 Tucson across nearly every single trim level. 0% interest for 5 years. That is the manufacturer voluntarily giving up all financing profit just to push volume. This is happening because Hyundai has been producing more Tucsons than the current market can absorb. Supply is outpacing demand. Inventory is building, and instead of letting it pile up, Hyundai is using the most powerful financial incentive they can offer: free money. Let me put this in real terms. A 2026 Tucson SE starts at around $30,000. With 0% financing for 60 months, your payment is roughly $500 a month with 0 interest charges over the entire loan. Now take the same $30,000 purchase on, say, a Toyota RAV4 at the current market average interest rate of about 7%. Same term, same amount financed. Your payment jumps to $594 a month. That is $94 more every single month, which adds up to over $5,600 in extra interest charges over 5 years. You are literally paying $5,600 for the Toyota badge, and the Tucson arguably gives you more for the money. The 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder produces 187 horsepower, and it is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, not a continuously variable transmission. If you want more grunt, the hybrid version combines a 1.6-liter turbo with an electric motor for 231 combined horsepower and 38 miles per gallon combined. That hybrid fuel economy is better than most compact sedans in an SUV. But what really separates the Tucson is the warranty. Hyundai gives the original owner a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Toyota gives you 5 years and 60,000 miles. Honda, same thing. Hyundai doubles them both. That warranty covers the engine, transmission, and drivetrain components. You are getting twice the manufacturer-backed protection for a vehicle that costs thousands less to finance. The 2.5-liter SmartStream engine uses a timing chain, not a timing belt, so there is no expensive belt replacement at 90,000 miles. Maintenance costs are simple and predictable. Oil changes, brake pads, filter replacements. A mechanic I trust told me the Tucson is one of the most boring vehicles that comes through his shop, and he said it the same way a cardiologist tells you your heart looks boring. That is exactly what you want to hear. And here is the thing most buyers miss. Many dealers are stacking discounts on top of the 0% financing. Because the Tucson has been sitting longer than expected, individual dealerships are knocking $2,000 to $3,000 off sticker just to move units. So you are looking at potential total savings of $7,000 to $8,000 compared to buying a same-price competitor at full MSRP with market rate financing. That is real, life-changing money for most families, and it is available right now if you walk in knowing these numbers exist. When you are test driving a Tucson, pay attention to a few things. Check the production date on the door jamb sticker. If the vehicle was built more than 90 days ago, the dealer has been paying floor plan interest on it, and you have leverage to negotiate harder. Test the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connections. Some early units had minor pairing hiccups that were resolved through software updates. Make sure yours has been updated. If you are going all-wheel drive, do full lock turns in both directions in a parking lot and listen for any binding or clicking. Hyundai's HTRX system is solid, but verify it on any individual unit before signing. And if you are looking at a leftover 2025 model that has been sitting for months, check the brake rotors for heavy surface rust and the tires for flat spots from sitting. Both are fixable and both are negotiation tools. If this kind of information is helping you, hit subscribe. I have more videos coming on the sport utility vehicles that cost the most to own over 5 years, and the ones that quietly save you thousands. Now let me get to the big one. The deal that made my jaw drop when I started digging into the data. Here is a number that should make every car buyer in America sit up straight. According to an IC Cars study from late 2025, 70.8% of all 2024 model year Jeep Grand Cherokees that were shipped to dealers had not been sold. 7 out of 10. Just sitting there. And it was not just the Grand Cherokee. Stellantis, the parent company of Jeep, had 12 of the 23 most oversupplied models in the entire American market. Half the list. This is not a vehicle problem. This is a corporate overproduction disaster. And the people paying for that disaster right now are Jeep dealers who are sitting on months and months of unsold inventory, watching their floor plan interest pile up like snow in January. And so what happens when you have that much unsold inventory? Stellantis opens the floodgates on incentives. Right now, in March 2026, the Jeep Grand Cherokee is available with up to $9,250 in total cash back. That is not a typo. $9,250 off a vehicle with a base MSRP of $37,995. That is a 24% discount before you even sit down across from a salesperson. Some configurations are available with 0% APR financing. Lease deals start at $299 a month, and Stellantis has specifically instructed dealers to offer additional allowances on the oldest 20% of inventory still sitting on lots. They are telling their own dealers to cut deeper on the vehicles that have been sitting the longest. That is how desperate the situation is. Now, here is what frustrates me about the narrative around this vehicle. People see the discounts and think something must be wrong with it. That is not what is happening here. The current generation Grand Cherokee that launched in 2022 is genuinely one of the best vehicles Jeep has ever made. The problems are at the corporate level, not on the assembly line. The standard engine is the 3.6-liter Pentastar V6, making 293 horsepower. This engine has been in production since 2011 in various configurations. It has been installed in millions of vehicles. It uses a timing chain. It is naturally aspirated, no turbo to fail. It is one of the most thoroughly proven V6 engines in the American market, and it is paired with a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission that is, without exaggeration, one of the best automatic transmissions ever manufactured. BMW uses this same ZF unit. So does Audi. So does Alfa Romeo. It was engineered in Germany, and it has been validated across tens of millions of miles globally. You are getting world-class powertrain engineering in a vehicle that is currently being discounted like it is going out of business. The current generation Grand Cherokee also uses an aluminum-intensive body structure that is lighter and more rigid than the previous model. The suspension was completely redesigned for 2022 with independent front and multi-link rear geometry that delivers a surprisingly refined highway ride. And if off-road capability matters to you, the Trailhawk trim comes with a 2-speed transfer case, locking rear differential, underbody skid plates, and hill descent control. You are not getting that from a Highlander, a Pilot, or a Palisade. The Grand Cherokee is one of very few midsize SUVs that can actually handle genuine trail driving, and right now, it is priced below vehicles that cannot. Let me walk you through what a real deal looks like. A 2025 Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4 with an MSRP of $42,000. Apply the national cash back. You are already at $36,750 before the dealer says a word. Now layer on the oldest inventory allowance, another $1,000 to $2,000 off on vehicles that have been sitting the longest. Military, first responder, or loyalty discounts add another $500 to $1,500, depending on eligibility. You are now negotiating from a starting point of $33,000 to $34,000 for a vehicle that was priced at $42,000 6 months ago. That is $8,000 to $9,000 in real savings. Find me another midsize SUV with a ZF 8-speed transmission, a Pentastar V6 engine, available off-road hardware, and a genuinely premium interior that you can buy for $33,000. It does not exist. I need to be honest about the trade-offs because I am not here to sell you anything. If your number one priority is driving 300,000 miles with nothing but oil changes and brake pads, you are still better off with a Toyota. The Grand Cherokee is reliable, but it does not have the multi-generational 300,000-mile track record that Toyota has built over decades. Stellantis vehicles can occasionally have electrical quirks, things like infotainment glitches, sensor recalibrations, or window regulator issues. Nothing catastrophic, but the kind of annoyances that Toyota owners almost never deal with. You need to go in with open eyes. When you are shopping for a Grand Cherokee, test every single electrical component before you sign. Every window, every seat motor, every climate zone. Cycle the infotainment through every screen and menu. If anything is glitchy, either negotiate a fix into the deal or walk to the next one. Check the VIN against the NHTSA database for any open recalls or technical service bulletins. Some early 2024 production units had transmission software calibration updates that should have been applied by the dealer. Make sure it has been done. Ask directly how long the specific vehicle has been on the lot. If the salesperson hesitates, you already have your answer. That unit has been there a while and they know it. So here is where we are. 3 SUVs, 3 completely different situations, 3 massive opportunities. The Buick Envision is sitting at 140 days of dealer supply with a perfect reliability score because nobody thinks to look at it. The Hyundai Tucson is being offered with 0% financing for 5 years because Hyundai would rather give away their interest income than let inventory build. And the Jeep Grand Cherokee is in the middle of a corporate overproduction crisis with up to $9,250 in cash back because Stellantis shipped more vehicles than the market could absorb, and now every dealer in America is trying to dig out. None of these vehicles are charity cases. They are all genuinely capable, well-engineered SUVs that happen to be caught in market conditions that have nothing to do with how good they are. The Envision has a perfect reliability score. The Tucson has the best warranty in the business. The Grand Cherokee has a powertrain combination that luxury brands charge double for. And all 3 of them are available right now at prices that will not exist in 6 months once production adjusts and inventory normalizes. The market does not reward the smartest buyers by default. It rewards the most informed ones. You now know exactly which SUVs are costing dealers money, exactly how much leverage you have, and exactly what to check before you sign. That is information most car buyers never get. Now, if you want to know which SUVs hold their value the best over 5 years, so you are not the one taking the loss down the road, I did a whole video on that. It is right here, like this if it saved you money. Subscribe, because I am going to keep pulling back the curtain on what dealerships do not want you to see. Drive smart, negotiate harder, and never, ever pay sticker when the lot is full. I will see you in the next one.